Hello, hi, this is Jeffery Kin, Sarasota Rising Living Arts Festival, Sarasota, and visit Sarasota's Behind the Masterpiece. So this is the time when I get to sit down and chat with people in the community and kind of figure out how they tick, how they work, what they do, how they do it, and I'm of course very excited that I get to talk with a good friend, Thayer Greenberg, who I've known for many years. And I'm so proud of you and all the things that you're doing at the Players Center for Performing Arts and at the Players Studio. I know they're actually two different things, so maybe we'll talk about that just a little bit. But welcome, Thayer. You know, I know you're busy. I know you've got a lot going on. I know your office is usually full of lots of hubbub and excitement. So what's happening recently with the Players Studio? What are you doing to make the shake things up? I got to tell you, I think I saw that you guys went to a competition of some kind, right?
Oh my God, what isn't happening at the studio right now? Question. We have so much going on, and it's actually it's so exciting. I mean, there has been so much change these last 2 years in what we're doing, and we're actually right now we are about to open. We just closed 13 Junior, which was our first ever fully middle school production, which super excited about because they get lost with the older kids, and then they don't want to be with the littler kids, and they're in this weird in between age. And so we decided this year, we were like, they need their own show where they can raise their voices and shine. And they were, honestly, the show was amazing, and they're just so talented and wonderful. So we just closed that show. And then in a week from now, we open our high school production of Sweeney Todd. Which is going to be super exciting. Yeah. You should hear the voices that we have in this show. These kids are truly the future of theater, of performance. They are just incredibly talented. I mean, we know Sweeney Todd. That is a tough show. So like
That's
they
a
are.
tough. That is a tough show.
It
Yeah.
is, and the kids that we have in the show are just outstanding. And then right after that, we open up Finding Nemo, and then we audition for Beetlejuice and Honk. So like we are just never ending, nonstop. I mean, this year already we did our first ever like rep show is what we're calling it. So we opened the season with American Idiot, which was our college young adult version, a young adult show. Then we went right into our high school production of Neil Simon's The Good Doctor. So like this year already, we have closed almost 4 shows, and we are into our next, half of the year, where we're about up to 6 productions a year just with our studio, and with our younger performers, which is so exciting. And we did go to the Junior Theater Festival, which was so exciting. It was our first year going, and we actually took home an award for excellence in music, which is really awesome.
Just to be noticed at one of those, and especially we've been trying to get to those for years, so thank you. For those that are not listening or are listening, sorry, that don't know, I actually ran the Player Center for 15 years. So when I say we would really love that, we talked about doing things like that, and we just never were able to focus on it. So again, kudos to you for doing that. And I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask for the listening audience, for the viewing audience. What makes the Players Studio so special? What makes it the place that attracted you, number one? So that's been 2 years now, and then what makes you get up in the morning and get excited about your day?
Um, that's a loaded question and so many different answers for this, but so the Players has always had a really special place in my heart. I mean, as Jeffrey knows, we've known each other for a long time. Jeffrey directed me when I was in high school and in Candide, 20 something years ago at this point now, and so I've been doing Players. Oh, I know, right? Yeah, 20 years. Yeah. Yep, I know it's been a while. So again, Players, like all of my friends grew up they were Players kids, and we were always taking classes and auditioning for shows and volunteering, and it was just it was a huge part of my high school experience. The theater in this town is so abundant and so amazing, and just to have these places as a kid to go myself when I was younger, when this position opened up, I knew that the Players was going through a lot of change in a lot of things to come. And that really excited excited me because, and I had actually talked to Jeffrey and, just said, hey, give me a little bit of info and give me a little bit of history and, what's been going on because I was away for a long time. And, and after talking to you, I realized like, oh, this is, where I need to be. This studio needs a breath of fresh air. It needs some newness to it. And so, when I had my interview and I was talking to everybody, it was very obvious that that this was the place where I needed to be. And every day since then, it's been really wonderful to work somewhere after like working in education and in schools and things like that. I come to work every day and I'm not hearing no all the time. It's like, yes, go do this. And as a teacher and as an educator and as an administrator, to hear the word yes has been just so honestly freeing for me to not have to like jump through every burning hoop to do everything. And I mean, and really, and in the last couple years, our studio has grown so much. We have double the students. I mean, we did a production of Matilda last year that had 47 kids in the show. Like that's like what an amazing thing. And yes, we fit them all on our little stage, in the mall. And it was honestly watching them and watching our students and what we get to bring to them is truly amazing because we're not just putting on shows for kids. We hold them to a really high expectation. I mean, when you hear doing Neil Simon's The Good Doctor with high schoolers, like that's a hard show. That is a show that
Mhm.
adults look at and go, "Oh, okay." Like
Yeah,
it's hard.
yeah.
And
We did it in college, and it was a summer theater, and it was a challenge. Yeah.
yeah. And honestly, our production was so good that we're actually going to be taking it to the Florida Theater Conference this coming up year. Like we were so excited about it and it got so much positive review and these kids worked so hard, So we're trying to be a place where kids want to come to learn and grow and be safe in who they are and have a space to explore and discover, but we also want to be the studio where people go, oh, they're doing really good work over there. And that to me it's important on both levels to have the quality and just everything that you need to really make good productions and good classes and have the people here behind you. But also we want to make sure that we are a safe place where kids can come and they know that we support them, love them, accept them for who they are. And that to me is something that we're doing very well right now. And it just makes me happy to see all of our amazing students coming in and bringing their friends in. And that's the best part too, is that they come and then they're like, oh yeah, come do stuff. And so like, we're just growing and growing and growing. And, we're at the point now where we don't even know where we're going to hold all of our rehearsals for everything. Like it's great. It's a
That's
great problem.
logistically, that's a great thing. That's a great thing to have. And having a great vibe for a studio, especially when you're dealing with kids, is so important. And we can't emphasize enough, being that welcoming family. But I always felt like that's what the studio was like, is that you can show up and you really realize, wow, I have a place. I There are people like me who are weird and think funny things, and everything's a show tune. And I mean, it's great to find your people.
Yeah, it is. And one of the things that I'm really proud of too is so like this past year I was able to bring on an assistant director of education, Carla Quinones. And between the two of us, just the experience that we both have in education alone, as far as like degrees and teaching experience and stuff, it's really great. And even like a lot of our teachers that we have in the studio now are also all like certified teachers, have gone through school for this stuff. And it makes a difference when you have a group of people who are not only talented and knowledgeable in their craft, but also talented and knowledgeable with working with students. There is something to be said about having qualified teachers in your studio who understand where the kids are, where their development is at. And those are things that I pride myself on and I pride the studio on now, is really bringing in qualified people who understand where our students are at and hold them to expectations, but also understand that they are 13, 14, 15, 16,
Right.
and they are learning the world for the first time and
Yeah.
that we're handling those situations appropriately.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's so important to be those people. Kudos to you again for being able to surround yourself with great people. What age ranges of people, of kids, of parents should be saying, "Hey, my kid or my grandkid, they might be interested in something." What age range of student do you guys deal with now?
So we start our classes at 6 years old. So we do have some acting and dance classes for as young as 6 years old, and we go up to 18 right now. But again, we also just started our summer program or our summer show, which is for returning college students. So again, like we did the American Idiot production this last year, which was geared towards returning college students, high school seniors, who, are now graduated and leaving for college and want to do something. And, it was a little bit smaller in that age range this year. So we did open it up, but we're hoping that this year we're going to bring in we haven't announced the show yet, so I can't say it, but it's a really exciting show. And we're hoping to bring in even more college students. And we've actually been reaching out to some of the schools in the area that we know, have good theater programs and stuff. So that they know, hey, if your students want to do something during the summer, come. So really, we're geared with kids from 5 to 18, and then we have our college age kids, but we also offer classes all the way up through adults. So like we are really reaching as far out as we possibly can when it comes to who we offer classes for. But I would say get your kids involved as early as possible, because theater isn't, and performing arts in general, it's not just about performing. It teaches so many life skills. I mean, you go into an interview, you're talking to an arts kid because of how like well articulated they are. Like it's just you can tell the difference between a kid who has been on the stage or been part of classes. And so I say that it just makes a difference all around. So get your kids involved as soon as you can, and encourage them to try new things. Like you can, do everything and learn everything, and we just say come and try it out. Why not?
And you guys are at 1400 Boulevard of the Arts, right? You're right by Wolfie's in that great little area.
Yes,
So
we are.
you have a couple studios there, obviously voice lessons and all that kind of great stuff. So I'm very proud of you as always. I would love to. Do you have a second? I would love to talk a little bit about some players, theater stuff. Because I know you're going through a whole lot right now when coming to Spaces and Payne Park. You just had a gala, I think, and
Yes.
you celebrated what, 95?
95 years,
You
yes.
look great for 95.
So much. It's I lotion every day,
Yeah,
vitamins,
yeah, a little bit of the I always just so you know,
water.
I was that idiot that would always be like, "Hi, welcome to our 82nd season. I look good for 80 to 82, don't I?" So just so you know, yeah, seriously. Seriously. So Payne Park is in the players' future, right? The Payne Park Auditorium. And what kind of a time frame are we that you guys might be in there doing amazing things?
So I wish it was tomorrow, as I think most of us do. But we recently signed the lease in the last couple months. So it's very new, and obviously everyone's like, well, this has been kind of in the talks for years now, and it totally has. But it's gone through some transformations over the years of what are we going to be? Who do we want to be? What is this going to encompass? And I think more recently we have realized that, like we are the players, we need a space for the players. And so it really has turned back into this more simplistic project where we want to have a space where people can come in and they can use the space, if it fits in and that kind of stuff. So we're super excited for that. But we're honestly just so excited to have a space of our own. And, now that we have the lease and we are looking forward, it was really going back and looking at all of our plans and going, okay, so like, what do we need in this space? What does the players need? What do we need for our education programs? What do we need for our main stage, and more bathrooms, comfortable seating, all of this stuff. So
It comes down to bathrooms. Oh, it's
it
all about the
always
potties.
does. It
Yeah.
always, and I get it
Power, potties, and parking. That's what you got. You got your three P's there, darling. Yeah.
Exactly. So we're looking at about a year and a half of renovations. So we are hoping, crossing fingers. We know, obviously, post COVID, all of that materials and all of these things are harder to get. So we're that year and a half looks pretty good for us right now. And so we're hoping to open our 97th season in the new space.
97. Excellent. So just in time for that big 100-year anniversary that we have been talking about for forever. I mean, and part of what the insane people at the Players Theater do is you guys, you care about community theater. Community theater is literally the quilt that holds a community together. I am a big fan. I'm a product of community theater. Like I said, at 13, I was, night number two and Once Upon a Mattress, and and those memories stay with you forever. And again, these people in the community are all volunteers, and the kids that are coming to you are actually paying you to give them knowledge and advice. So what a great position to be in. Um, that's a great position. So, have you guys started talking about what the summer season is going to be for the players?
Yes. So we are actually, which is super exciting. I I don't want to be like the studio's taking over, but we really, with just like the success of everything we're doing, we wanted to offer what we're calling our first studio main stage. I'll put up little quotes, main stage, because all of our shows are main stages. They all get very good treatment and all of that. But our first summer show this year is actually going to be Beetlejuice. And it is running for 2 weeks. It is tuition free. So we are not, we are actually treating it like as if the kids are the community members coming in and volunteering for the show.
Mhm.
So it is tuition, there's no tuition, a 2 week run. High schoolers from eighth grade, incoming freshmen to seniors are all welcome to audition. So that's our first summer show of the year. And then we will be moving into the rep show, so the college show that is going to like in the same kind of place where the American Idiot was. We haven't announced that show yet, so that actually will be announced probably next week, I believe, is the drop date for it. So everyone can look out for that exciting show. We're super excited. We still also do have our new play festival as well this summer. So you can also look out for the winner of last year's play festival. So they're going to be performing this summer their show. And then we actually have the new play festival as well. So between Beetlejuice, the rep show, and our new play festival, that's kind of what's up and coming this summer. And again, like Beetlejuice is going to be awesome, talented students right into the rep show right after that. And then we also have our summer camp productions as well, which for our younger kids this year, for well, actually middle and high school, is The Little Mermaid. So we're excited about
Oh,
that too.
nice, nice. Summer
Yeah,
camp there is always such a blast. And
it
I got to
is.
tell you, one of my favorite things was coming, and I would take a couple of days and teach a playwriting course
Oh,
inside
love
of our
that.
summer camp, and that was always eye opening. And
Yep.
bless those kids. The
Eye opening is the right word. Yes.
Eye-opening? No, there is something beautiful about a child and giving them a piece of paper and giving them, and I think the important thing too is, and I'm sure it's probably the same thing, this isn't all fun and games. I mean, there's real pressure put on, and I gotta tell you, that kind of pressure is the fun kind where you help them understand that, that they have worth and they have value and that they have a voice, and that if someone in a boardroom situation when they're adults, they're going to be the ones that stand up and go, "Oh, no, 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 that's not how this is going to work." You know what I mean? Like they know how to communicate. They understand spatial equality. They understand. I mean, it's really incredible what you all do, and I've always been so very proud of the work in the studio, and of course the theater that has been a part of part of uh, our culture really in our region forever.
Yeah.
The
The
first, uh,
community theaters here in Sarasota are in Sarasota. I mean, from all the way. I mean, honestly, from Venice to Manatee, like, give everybody their props. I mean, everybody is doing such amazing work, and such different work too. Like, we are all in such different places, and it's like you go see a show anywhere, and the quality of community theater here is so different from anywhere I've ever been. I lived in Chicago, I lived in New York, and I went and saw shows, and like, man, what we are doing here is
Mhm.
special. It is so special.
Yeah. It's a dream. It's performers they're living out their dreams, and that's why you're going to get a really wonderful experience when you give your community theater a chance. And also when
Absolutely.
it comes to donations and ticket sales, don't do it, don't cut it. So when you're talking about your money and how to support your community in the most grassroots way possible, the Players Studio and the Players Theater, you guys got it going.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty good. And, this might be like a little shameless pitch too, though, but like so at this You know, so one of the things that I'm super proud about the studio, and one of the reasons that really drew me here too, was the immense amount of scholarships that we offer here at the studio, because it can be expensive to take classes. It can be expensive to pay to play performances and that kind of stuff. And we have a policy here, a goal, a mission, whatever you want to call it, that we never turn students away, for inability to pay. So like we have students here who pay nothing to be in shows, and theaters should always be accessible. And that is just something that we truly believe in. So when you talk about donating and all of that stuff, and people go, where's my money going to? Well, it's going to putting these kids through these shows, through these performances, like, and you're changing lives, truly. Like, you might not understand where it goes, but you are, by donating even the littlest amount, you are changing lives.
And I'm so honored that you still use the phrase that I coined, that we don't turn anyone away for their inability to pay. That was very important to me. And of course, the New Play Festival. If you, I'm sure everyone loves the movies that are they now get to see live on stage, but to see a new play in works in progress is really exciting. And of course, I ran that project for a good 20 years, and it's super important for our area playwrights, adults and kids all around, to have a place that helps develop new works. We can't keep doing the threes and the fours and how many more movies. I mean, I'm sorry, but Lord Almighty, let's tell a new story. Um, so Thayer, why the players for you at this time? What makes this the perfect fit for you? You kind of mentioned it a little bit, but I'd love to know what are you at this point in your life? What is the players doing for you?
Man, that's it's honestly kind of all encompassing a little bit too, because it's a lot of people. I'm really lucky because I get to work in my passion. Like theater, like this isn't really just a job for me, and it never has been. I've known since I was in kindergarten that I wanted to be a teacher. I moved to Sarasota for high school. That was my first. Like, I grew up in Connecticut, and I moved here, and I went to Booker, and Booker. It really changed my life. It transformed my life. Theater and music. Singing was my first passion. All of this stuff, and I remember, again, I remember the players. I remember going to see shows. I remember being in shows, taking classes, volunteering, all the same, stuff I said before too. But, right now in my life, I was teaching. I loved my previous job. I was teaching at the Out of Door Academy. I built up their program from nothing. It was such an amazing experience there. But when I saw this job open, and I had talked to people, and I just really, I felt compelled to be here. It was like something was pulling me, drawing me in. And, and again, like I went to school for arts administration and education. I'm actually about to graduate with my master's in organizational leadership. So I want to, as much as I love teaching full time, I want to use my powers for even more good, and, to use those skills in a place that really needs them and wants them. And this, at that time, at right now, this was the place. This is the place. And every day that I come here, like there's not a day that I wake up with like the Sunday scaries anymore or anything like that. Like being here is fun. I work in an office with people that I like. I'm directing shows that I want to direct. Like, it just opened up so many things for me. As just a human, just to fulfill my own soul as a director, as an educator, and then I get to watch this program blossom and grow, and it really fills my heart. Honestly, the main thing is like, this is what I love to do. I've been kind of building programs and helping turn things around in almost every place that I've been. So when I saw that the players was in need of some of that, and like, again, I came here and I could feel the heart, I could feel the passion. It just needed a little bit of organization, and we were off, honestly. And
Somebody,
that,
some
yeah.
you need somebody that cares. Yeah, and this is
And
a
no,
and your passion. What?
and like knows the community. I think that
Yeah.
that's a huge part of it too,
Yep.
is that I'm not trying to make us anything that we're not.
Yep.
Like I'm not trying to be any other program in this town. I'm trying to make us the players and find our identity, find our name, put it out there, and really just create a place where our students, young and old, want to be. And that is really important.
It is super important that you're able to give, and you knowing that how much you give back and how much you care. It's wonderful. Thank you so much, Thayer, for your time.
Of
It
course.
never fails that I start talking to somebody and I have a list of questions. I could listen and talk with you, and so maybe there's a round two coming up as we
Love
talk
that.
about your process and your projects and the amazing things that the players. The best way, of course, to get information is theplayers.org.
Yep.
The phone number that I mentioned before, we have no idea whether that's the same number anymore. It's probably the box office number, but that's okay. 365-2494. I
Probably.
know. Just Jeffrey's just old and I can't remember what I had for breakfast, but I can remember that phone number. So yeah, right.
Yeah,
Uh,
365-2494.
wow. There you
There
have
you
it.
go.
Yes,
There you
yes.
go.
Thayer, thank you so much for your time. It is so
Thank you for having
appreciated.
me.
And you know what? When you, I can't, and I got to tell you, I'm a little upset that I've not been able to make it to one of your pieces yet. When you guys take The Good Doctor on the road, are you going to do a local production of it first? A
We
local?
are, yeah, we're gonna bring it back a little bit
Great,
and do a couple performances so that the
great,
kids can be in front of an audience
great.
and get it back in their
I
bones.
would
Yep,
love, I would love to
absolutely.
attend and
Awesome.
support. It is about time, right?
Yeah, totally. Absolutely.
Awesome.
You're welcome anytime. So please come see the
Thank
kids.
you. And when it comes to festival, we have a festival coming up in 2025, and we want to make sure that
Yes.
you guys are well aware. November
Yep.
2nd through the 9th. So I'll be talking to you.
Awesome. That sounds great.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Thayer. And thank you all for listening and watching. We've had a great time, as you know. Visit Sarasota is an amazing organization, and Behind the Masterpiece literally is here just to entertain you. So we love talking to our area arts practitioners, and we appreciate your listening and your watching. Take good care. Bye bye. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. This has been Jeffery Kin as a part of Visit Sarasota's Behind the Masterpiece. We love listening to our arts practitioners, and we want you to listen as well. So make sure you join us at sarasotapodcast.com, and we'll see you at the next interview.